Good morning, my friends. Happy Memorial Day weekend to those of you who are in the United States and those of you who celebrate. Memorial Day being the celebrating the memorial, those who gave their lives for the United States. Thank you. Thank you to all those who did. Anyway, today is, let's see, what do we have here? We are at week 21, so 31 to go. We're chipping away at it. For those of you who are just tuning in and you wonder, what the heck is she talking about? This is my 1,000 pound challenge that I'm doing this year, and it is to divert 1,000 pounds of my garden and house waste back into my garden. If I can coax somebody else into allowing me to use what they were going to throw away, then that gets added to it. And I thought I should clarify that because I do have a neighbor who gives me his grass clippings, and I am taking that as part of what I'm collecting. And he brings me a cardboard box every now and then. I think that's pretty cute. Anyway, we do have recycling here, so our recycling is something totally different. If we put out our cans and glass bottles and jars, etc., that, you know, that goes back to the city. That they take that. But anyway, some of the things that I do recycle, just quickly, are my fruit and vegetable peels. Now, I have large yogurt containers, and for those of you who know me, I also raise worms. So I keep my vegetable peels in containers that I can kind of keep in my freezer neatly, cleanly, and then I take them out and I let them thaw before I get them to my worms. If I were going to feed them to my compost, then I could just probably take it out there just about every day. I also save my coffee grounds, my tea bags. The coffee filters act as a great bottom for if you have a pot and you're growing something in a pot. It gets the water so that it doesn't sit, but it will slowly run through. You know, if you have a hole there, it's one thing, it runs through. If you have a stone there, for the most part, the weight of the soil packs it in there. But if you have something like this, that it will drip slowly. Anything else? Oh, my shrimp shells, my egg shells. You see, I pulverize mine. Somebody had mentioned that they didn't think that egg shells broke down any faster whether they were pulverized or not, and I thought it was another website, and the person who had it said, "Oh, I disagree with you," and I thought, I do too. I think when you give things more surface to break down, they do break down faster. I feed them to my worms. It adds calcium to their diet. It adds calcium to their little bodies and makes them stronger so that they can make better poop for me. I do the same with any old seeds that I have. I was thinking if you were throwing away your spices, you know, sometimes they get kind of old and inert. Is that the word I want to say? That, you know, you open it up and you go, geez, you have to look at the label to see what it was. It's past its prime. You could add that back into your compost, or you could give it to your worms. They would love it. Any leaves that you have outside, any of your flowers. These are my plumeria blooms, and I used to pick them up and bring them in every day, and then I would just, you know, throw them away because they kind of look spent after a day or so. Now I'm weighing them and I'm feeding them to my worms. And the worm bin smells wonderful. I mean, it's just because plumeria, even when they do look kind of bad, they smell beautiful. Grass clippings, uh, any of your green leaves, if you can run it through your lawnmower, if it comes out and it feels chunky and you think, oh, like I have bougainvillea uh, uh, bushes, trees, whatever you want to call them. And I mean, they have spikes that are an inch long. I mean, if you get those in your hands, you're hurting for certain. But if you put it through the lawnmower twice, I have a mulching mower, and I'll put it through there twice. And the second time, it's like the leaves get chopped the first time. The second time, they just grind it in like I'm putting it through a NutriBullet or something. All those moistures come out, and they do break down those thorns. My vacuum cleaner, I used to throw that away, and now I feed it into my tumbler. I have a composter tumbler, or if I don't have time to do that, I will put it down around the base of a tree because I think, well, it's soil. It came from inside. It's not from the moon. It's soil. My dryer lint. Our clothes, we went through this. There's this controversy on uh, dryer lint being, nylon fabrics give off just a little hint of something, and it might be uh, fiberglass, and we don't want that in our soil, on and on. And I think, wow, that's really a minute amount that would come off of it. And Rick mentioned to me, he said, well, the only things that give lint are cotton. Apparently that's wrong. However, my clothes are cotton. I don't have anything else. So even though I really never went in that direction, people say, I only wear natural fibers. I guess I just gravitated towards that, and lucky me. Any of my stale cereals, crackers, cork breaks down. It's from a cork tree. Get that, Mother Nature? Popsicle sticks. Um, any of on the carbon side, any of my cardboard that I can put through my shredder. If I can't put it through the shredder, I use it as a weed deterrent. I'll put that down somewhere, and then I put grass clippings on top. We get the Sunday paper. We have gone to a digital paper, and for some reason or other, the newspaper company decided I guess they wanted to boost their circulation, so they started sending us a Sunday paper for free. I mean, they charge enough for a digital paper that they should throw it in for free, but no judgment here. The egg cartons. I was just watching somebody else who said about egg cartons, and they said if you get the ones that are recycled, and it'll have such and such recycling. This gentleman said it was actually the end of the line for the cardboard. The cardboard had been used one place, and then it was recycled, and then it was used someplace else, and it was recycled, and this was kind of the end of the line for it. So good that you can give it one last final burial, and use it either as a little planter, or you can use it out in your garden, and then it truly does go back to nature. Paper bags, if you're using paper bags, these happen to have come, they're vintage. We had during the pandemic, in the past, we had, we would take our reusable bags and our recyclable bags, and they wouldn't let us use it. They said, sorry, you can't use that. So it was probably close to a year that they wouldn't let us use anything. And so I started saying, well, instead of the plastic bags, I would rather have paper. At least paper I can shred and put that into my worm bins, or shred and put it back into my garden, or take the bags. I was putting them one inside the other, and I'd have like 2 or 3 of them, and I'd cut that off, and I was making little like square foot gardens out of it, because I knew the bottom would disintegrate very quickly. So anyway, that was it. I think toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, I think you guys can see. I've told you about if you have any vegetables or fruits or anything that come in water, you can take that water and use it in your garden. If you had something like canned fruit, I was thinking about that. If you had canned fruit and it was in some kind of a fruit water or heavy syrup, and you went, oh gee, I don't want to eat that, or consume that. Boy, that would really be good for your worms, because worms love sweet. I mean, they would just suck that right up in a heartbeat. So anyway, that was it. We're gonna make this short, I hope. This week was not good. No Brian. Rick had cut our grass so short the week before that I was seeing bare spots. I forced him to raise the blades on our grass, because that's not good. That's not how you want to cut Floratam, which is our grass here. And so anyway, we only got like a couple pounds, and that was it. Excuse me. Where do I have it? Oh yes, right. So this week, excuse me, just one moment. Believe it or not, I'm not used to talking. There's 2 of us. I'm usually out in the garden or doing something or reading or whatever, and so is Rick. Neither one of us talk very much. This week I got 10 pounds, 9.4 ounces. That was pretty meager, and I didn't really have anything. But even if you thought about that and you thought, gee, that sounds like a lot to me, that's still over 500 pounds a year if you took it in that fashion. So anyway, but I'm still working my angle here. I'm still doing my thing. 21 weeks, it brought it up to 543 pounds, 543 pounds, 4.3 ounces. So we're chugging right along. We're beyond our schedule. That was it. I hope everybody has a great day. I don't have any great words of wisdom for you today, other than love each other, and get out and get some fresh air, and put some seeds in the ground. I planted seeds yesterday out in my Juicy Fruit Island, and I promise I will show you when they start to sprout. So anyway, garden what you've got, and I hope everybody has a great day. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.